we are going to quickly revise all the limits that we have in FEMA. Gen Z notes of FEMA, guys. Basically, except for residential status in FEMA, we are going to revise the whole of FEMA in the next 10 to 15 minutes max. Basically, if you see, there are 7 dabbas that you have to remember, or 7 different types of limits. First is current account, which is schedule 3. Current account has totally 3 schedules. The third schedule talks about what you can do as an individual. For that, as an individual, limit is 2,50,000. If it crosses that, then you will go to RBI. This 2,50,000 is for what things? Like gifting, for donation, for any expense of medical, education, private tours, tourism, all of that if you want to go abroad. In that, they are not giving you 2,50,000 if you go to countries like Nepal and Bhutan, because you can use Indian currency itself. In this list, specifically they are saying for immigration, medical treatment and studies, for these 3 things, if it crosses 2,50,000, please get a confirmation letter from the respective institution also. Now, this 2,50,000 is for one individual. When I go with a group of friends or family, can I group it? Yes, friends, family. Same if you go together in the same visa or you can group it off, guys. Okay, that is about schedule 3. These are the key points. Other expense of schedule 3 could be, for example, you are buying mobile from US. Okay, you can buy mobile from US. It should be within the limit of 2,50,000. Are you following, guys? Clear? I'm not capitalizing mobile, keeping it in the expense side. Next, again within current account, schedule 1 is prohibited. That means current account has 3 schedules, guys. If you look at the 3 schedules of current account, should you remember these numbers? Yes, I will tell. Yes. Okay, easy to remember, nothing great. It's easier than section numbers. What is schedule 3 of FEMA current account? Which you can do, allowed, permissible. Can do means permissible. Okay. Next, schedule 1 is cannot do, prohibited. No permission, nothing. You cannot do. Schedule 2 is you can do with the permission of central government. Schedule 3 is can do with the permission of RBI. Are you following? Within schedule 2 you have 2 types. One is for individual, one is for other than individual. What we finished so far is other than individual. So we are individuals. We are done with individuals for schedule 3. Next is current account, schedule 1 prohibited. These things not allowed. Remittance out of lottery winnings. All lottery winnings in India you can't remit out. Race horse winnings. Riding horse from India, money can't go out of India. Money can't go out of India. Remittance for purchase of lottery ticket outside India. US lottery, no. For abroad, then banned and prescribed magazines you can't buy. Football pools and sweepstakes outside India you can't buy. Next, this same list has few other things. You have to search for these terms. Now I'm not focusing on logic in detailed class. Here, callback service, dividend balancing, commission on export on equity investment of wholly owned subsidiary in India, special rupee scheme account. These are all in schedule number. Which schedule, guys? 1 which you cannot do, current account. So out of 4 dabbas that we have in current account, 2 we have revised. Are you able to follow, guys? Okay. Next, one more point we missed here. Commission on exports up to 10% of invoice value for tea and tobacco. Usually you can't pay commission on exports, but if it's for export of tea and tobacco, allowed up to 10% of invoice value. This also is what in cannot do, with one exception. You can do up to 10%. Clear, guys? Next, I'm going to current account schedule 2. Schedule 2 of current account, which is generally for the government departments, PSU, institutional level, usually for government departments or government things. Central government you have to get approval for all of this. Cultural tour. Is there any limit for cultural tour? No. Cultural tour you have to get approval. Cultural tour. Freight of vessel by PSU. Then that means renting of ship by PSU. Import by PSU through ocean if there are some expenses. Multi-model. Here again code word. Multi-model. Then container detention and payment of PNI club and transponders. Are you able to follow, guys? For this we had that story also. Indian team going to West Indies. That ship, signal, all container, all that is done. In this central government approval, apart from these code words, multi-model, container, all of that, okay. Two points have limits. So you have to remember this for sure. If it's for payment to foreign print media by public sector undertaking, you have to see, is it for the following set purpose: tourism, foreign investment, or international bidding? Then it is exempt. Others na up to 10,000. So if PSU is advertising for three purposes: tourism, foreign investment, or international bidding, then allowed. Beyond that, others up to $10,000. Prize money for sponsorship for sports that happens outside of India. Any state or national or international body of India is conducting cricket tournament, badminton tournament, whatever tournament, there is no. Apart from state, national, international, private is conducting up to $1 lakh is allowing. $1 lakh into 80 is close to 80 lakhs. Ada tandi agu for keeping cricket tournament for private company. So they are allowing up to that much. Are you following? Now we are going to schedule 3, current account other than individual. So if I come back to this diagram over here, now we have finished revising schedule 1, what you cannot do. Schedule 2, central government is done. Schedule 3 we have finished with individual. Now we are going to schedule 3, can do with RBI permission for other than individuals. In other than individuals, there are only 4 points, and all these 4 are important limits. Okay, I told there are only totally 8 limits in this act, correct? Only 8 limits with some schedule numbers. You can't remember this. If you look at the past exam question, this only they are testing. These limits will come for 4 or 5 marks. Now, commission to an agent abroad for sale of residential or commercial plot in India. So, let's say you are selling residential or commercial, your house in India is purchased outside. For that, for agent commission is $25,000 or 5% of inward remittance, whichever is higher. Logic is more higher, more commission you will get. Consultancy for infrastructure up to 1 crore, $10 million. Others 10 lakh, $1 million. Following, guys, clear? Next, reimbursement of pre-incorporation expenses, that is allowed up to 5% of investment in India or $1 lakh, whichever is higher. This you have to mug up, but the logic you know, why higher, why lower. Last one is a new point, donation. Very, very important for exam. If you are donating for 3 purposes, code word, chairs for chairs over there, or funding of educational institutions or any funds for educational purpose, or technical institution for research in the same field of donor company, then in that case, it will be 1% of forex earnings of last 3 years or $50 lakh, whichever is lower. This ends our current account 4 dabbas. Not that difficult to remember, correct? Half an hour before exam you go through that 1.5 day, you can revise. Now coming to capital account, much more easier. What is capital account definition? We saw capital account is basically a person resident in India alters asset, liability, contingent liability outside India. Person resident outside India alters asset liability in India. For that, examples only are in schedule 1 and schedule 2. Not that important in capital account. That's why we didn't write here. Meaning simple, fairly easy list. Giving loan, taking loan, buying asset, selling asset. In schedule 3, there are some prohibitions. That is more important for capital account because things to remember. North Korea, can you enter into transaction? No. Who has to give permission? Central government. If you enter into transaction, buy asset, sell within 180 days. Then for a PROI, is prohibited to invest in India, even though we are getting forex, chit fund, nidhi, agriculture and plantation, and real estate, TDRs. You can't invest. TDRs is transferable development rights. But the word real estate does not include this. That means these things are included. Commercial and residential flats you can invest. Real estate infrastructure trust you can invest. Township, roads and bridges they can invest because that is for development. Otherwise, how will we develop? These are basic developments that are needed. Lastly, some miscellaneous concepts we saw, where apart from the limits, apart from residential status, what to remember. In reverse, if you see this account like RFC, resident foreign currency, or EEFC, exchange earners foreign currency, balance will be in dollars. These are exempted from FEMA because it's in dollars. Next, if any foreign national is working in India and getting salary, he can take the money and go abroad. Remittance of salary of non-resident working in India for the job should be maximum 3 years. But Pakistan means you can't take the money. Then under definitions, foreign exchange definition, you know what is foreign exchange. Balance in bank account in foreign countries. Ada Tandi he is saying any instrument like traveler's check or bills of exchange drawn in India but payable abroad, payable in dollars, or drawn outside India in dollars, payable in India in rupees. Between the two things, where it is drawn, where it is paid, any one should be abroad. It should be in dollars. Then also we call it as foreign exchange. So these are the concepts in FEMA. Quick revision except for residential status and related point of PRIA and PROI. Are you able to follow, guys? That's all you have to remember for exam, guys. Thank you.